Shalom, 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 family. I want to give call halal to you. How about you? How shall we do so on his beloved son, who the world only calls Jesus Christ? Quick touch up on that Genesis lesson. And I could be potentially repeating myself. I'm not sure. I didn't look at the video. I didn't really have time to do that. I just said I'll revisit the last verse or the last two verses in Genesis. So real quick, and I'm really just if you already got the context and the understanding and the knowledge behind it, it's the first video. So I'm kind of on some giving answers type stuff in this little short video. Salakia. So real quick, Genesis chapter 9 and verse 26, I believe. Let's see. Genesis 9 and 20. Oh, I'm in the book, Salakia. I explain 26. Okay, verse 27. Genesis 9:27. God shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And I believe I explained that based off verse 26. So, well, I'll just explain that again just for edification. So, the correlation with that would have to be, but not limited to, is in the book of Judges when we subdued the Canaanites and the kings. I believe it was 30 kings. Don't hold me to that, family, but I do believe it was 30 kings we subdued in the and also the Canaanites. That would have to be that correlation, but not limited to that correlation. Because again, also always remember, family, there's past tense and there's present tense prophecy that's contingent, meaning contingency means based on subject to change over time. Okay, let's continue. And he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. God shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. Now, I want to make something very clear. Historians and scholars, white people, they have minimal understanding on this. And I'm not saying that to boast or be proud or anything of that nature. I'm just quite frankly being honest. I do look at, and I have definitely in the beginning, I do look at and have looked at a lot of scholars' understanding on things. Sometimes because I want to see how asinine they are, and some of their scholarly interpretations are asinine. And you know what you'll find when you start doing research. This might shock some people. When you start doing research in the Bible, looking at different scholarly sources and things of that nature, you know what you'll find out, family? You'll find out that they really have a lot of indefinite answers on things. No, seriously. They literally say, we don't know. It's conclusive. Literally. It's a lot of prophecies that's up in the air for these historians. And that's because it's not their book. If we're just being quite frankly. Matthew 13:11, the Lord literally said that he gave this knowledge in the scriptures to us, his people, to understand and to know, not to other people. Matthew 13:11. But we know other nations, heathens, don't understand that. But we gonna help y'all understand that. Nevertheless, so one second, family. Salakia family. Salakia family. Salakia about that. Okay, so where was I? And again, family, kind of remember where I was. So, but again, family, this is a minuscule breakdown of Genesis 9. If you want a deeper understanding, leave a comment like the sister Marquita did. Because again, read the bio. This channel, it is directed but not limited to new bodies in the truth. But if you follow me and you've been following me, I made a PSA that we were gonna start stepping things up, and we have. We try to make scholars out of our brothers and sisters in righteousness. One, more importantly, is because we're commanded to. Joshua 1:8 tells us to observe everything written in these scriptures. Secondly, this is our heritage and our culture. We should want to know about our lifestyles and our ancestors' lifestyle more than the people who took our traditions and cultures and things of that nature. Nevertheless, but keep that in mind, family. So we're not going too deep. We went kind of deep yesterday. But I always say, I want people to build and interact, ask questions. So if you want a more scriptures and a deeper understanding, just leave a comment. It's that simple. You'll get the scriptures with a snap of a hand. Okay, no folly. Nevertheless, verse 27, God shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. So this verse can be interpreted a few ways. Primarily concerning, not primarily concerning eschatology, but concerning eschatology as well. And this can be proven. So in the kingdom, all the nations are going to be subdued to the Israelites. Okay, they're going to be under our orders. They're going to be under our pretenses. So this could point to a nation in the kingdom, because the scriptures go into that concerning eschatology, and we gonna start going deep into all of that about certain nations that will have specific tasks and things of that nature in the kingdom. It also goes into certain nations that won't be allowed in certain congregations, like the Canaanites, for example, the Moabites, and just different things of that nature. So these things can very well have multi-meanings, and I know they do. For example, another example, Jeremiah 48:11 says, Moab has been at ease since youth. They haven't gone into captivity yet. They don't know pain and suffering. They don't know what it feels like to be a minority collectively. So that's the Most High letting them know, because this is their kingdom. These people living it up. Okay, all these nations are having their way monetarily. We are the only people that have to beg and plead for anything. I mean, for God's sakes, speaking of Mongolians, since we talking about Moabites, and Mongolians, that just goes into Mongoloids, people that reproduce with their own offspring to create a child. Nevertheless, what I was saying, what was I saying? Slakia, nevertheless, these things can have multiple meanings, and they do. But all one understanding. I don't want people, oh no, it's multiple understandings. No, it ain't multiple understandings. It's multiple meanings with one understanding. You can't limit God's knowledge. Okay? The scriptures go deep. I also wanted to mention, so that's also something we would have to look at. And Shem, of course, we know it's the lineage that the Israelites come through. It's also where the word Hebrew comes from. And proof text for that is Luke 3:36. That also proves that the Messiah come through that lineage, Salakia family. And First Chronicles 1:17 through like 20, I believe, you can get the lineage of Shem, and it shows you how Eber comes through that lineage as well. I think I went into that yesterday. I'm not sure, family. Like I said in the beginning, I might be repeating myself. Nevertheless, and let me say this, and I'll wrap it up, family. We also have to understand, for those of you that haven't read the scriptures, so after the flood, pre-diluvian means after the flood or occurring during the flood. The Most High repopulated the earth with three sons: Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Ham got what we would call Africa. Shem, got what we would call the Mesopotamian region, the Middle East, and Japheth got what we would call Europe, Slovakia, and East Asia. Like part of East Asia, technically, when we deal with it geographically. So, and that's just dealing with geology for you guys to get an idea with this whole concept of the nations and their land masses and things of that nature. And to be honest with you, family, I am baiting you guys. I'm purposely alluding to things because I want you to ask questions and ask for scriptures, and to be more interactive. I'm starting to see a lot more interactions. I really am. A brother just commented on that Song of Solomon breakdown, and Sister Marquita, that's sister I used to work out. Shout out to Sister Marquita if you watching this. Hope you having a beautiful day, sis. I miss you. I hope you prospering and stay blessed. Nevertheless, yes, I want y'all to build, ask questions, ask for scriptures, ask for geology breakdowns, ask for eschatological breakdowns, ask follow-up questions with these things. I want those things. So I am doing a little baiting, doing a little provoking my brothers to good works. Okay. But like I said, I have been getting a lot more interactions. So all praises to the Most High for that. That Song of Solomon video is going crazy. I think that's like the most commented on video. And I swear to the Father, man, I swear to the Father, I can tell in people's responses that they're genuinely happy for a understanding that they can grasp. Because I try to teach in a way, in a scholarly way that's still understandable for my people. You know what I mean? Because I had to find teachers that I can understand. You had some teachers that just, they're so unorthodox in their way that they teach. In my opinion, anyway, I just couldn't grasp it. So I had to go earlier on in the truth. I had to go to teachers that I can actually learn from and retain information from. And then, you know what, family, for transparency, and then after I got the gist of things, then I went back to those people and when I can keep up with the race, for lack of better terms. Okay. But that's pretty much it. I want to give call all to Yahweh shall we do so in his beloved son, who the world only calls Jesus Christ. I don't want to take up too much of y'all time. It is Passover season. Until next time, family, shalom. I love y'all.